The UK government is advancing its plans to block individuals with extremist Islamist views from entering the country. This initiative is particularly aimed at hate preachers and extremists from nations like Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Indonesia, all with the goal of addressing the rising threat of radicalism. A visa warning list is being developed to ensure that anyone identified as a threat to national security is denied entry into the UK. These measures come as a response to the increase in extremist activities, with the government committed to preventing dangerous ideologies from entering the country. In an effort to bolster national security, the UK is tightening visa checks and reinforcing border security. These steps are designed to proactively block extremists from entering the country. British authorities are working closely with international partners to share intelligence and monitor suspected individuals, reflecting the government's understanding of the global nature of extremism and the importance of early intervention. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has stressed the need to distinguish between peaceful Islamic practices and extremist Islamist ideologies. In a recent speech, he highlighted the dangers posed by Islamist extremists, warning that their divisive messages threaten not only the UK's democratic institutions, but also its multicultural society. Beyond blocking entry, the government is also focused on deporting individuals who are already in the country and are inciting hatred or intimidating others. The government's approach also targets far-right extremism. Sunak emphasised that both Islamist and far-right groups are spreading hateful ideologies that threaten the UK's values of tolerance, inclusivity, and religious freedom. The ultimate goal is to prevent extremists, whether domestic or foreign, from exploiting the nation's freedoms to spread their harmful ideologies. Another concerning trend the government is addressing is the emerging alliance between far-left fringe groups and Islamist extremists. Recent pro-Palestinian protests have seen these groups join forces, creating heightened tensions and posing a challenge to social unity. The government is monitoring these developments closely to ensure this alliance doesn't further undermine public order. The UK's evolving demographics present both opportunities and challenges. While diversity enriches the country, it has also introduced new difficulties in maintaining social cohesion. Extremist ideologies, particularly from Islamist groups, have driven divisions, especially in densely populated urban areas. To counter this, the government is promoting initiatives that foster dialogue and mutual respect among different communities, believing that social integration is key to reducing the influence of extremism. In response to a rise in attacks on religious minorities, including Jewish and Christian communities, the government is taking concrete steps to increase protection. Reports of vandalism and violence at places of worship have sparked fear, leading to a re-evaluation of security measures. The government has increased security around religious sites and is urging citizens to report any suspicious activities, demonstrating its commitment to ensuring that all religious groups can practice their faith safely and without fear. Internationally, the UK is strengthening ties with global partners to better track extremist activities. By improving intelligence sharing and cross-border cooperation, the government aims to identify threats before they escalate. This proactive approach highlights the importance of global collaboration in the fight against extremism, which is increasingly seen as a transnational issue. The government is also addressing the rise of other radical movements. There is growing concern over far-left groups aligning with Islamist factions, which further complicates the UK's security landscape. This cooperation between extremist groups has added urgency to the government's efforts to maintain social order and safeguard national values. As incidents of hate speech, racial tensions, and violent protests increase, the need for stronger security measures has become more apparent. The government's response includes promoting programs that encourage understanding and respect across cultural and religious divides, ensuring that all citizens feel safe and valued. As part of its broader counter-extremism strategy, the UK is also working to protect vulnerable communities from the influence of hate preachers and radical ideologues. By blocking the entry of dangerous individuals and cracking down on those spreading divisive messages within the country, the government aims to reduce the risk of extremist activities escalating into violence. Ultimately, the UK government's new approach reflects a comprehensive effort to combat extremism in all its forms. Through a focus on Islamist extremists and other radical groups, strengthened international cooperation, and initiatives to promote social cohesion, the government is committed to preserving the nation's values of peace, tolerance, and security for all its residents. This multifaceted strategy aims to ensure the UK remains a safe and inclusive society, capable of resisting the harmful influence of extremist ideologies.